And this is the S&P Sports Show on this February 9th, 2023. As we are a couple of days away from Super Bowl Sunday, I'm your host, Shawn Stewart, alongside my co-host, Anthony Paulus. We had a little technical difficulties, but we're on the air. So we have a great show for you. We have, actually, it's the NBA trade deadline, and of course, Super Bowl. How we doing, friend? There was a couple of trades we did see a lot, especially Kevin Durant going to Phoenix. That's the biggest
Well,
news
that was
of all for this NBA.
Yep, that was the big one. That was the big one. 4 first-round picks, one first-round pick swap, some very good players going to New Jersey. Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, who eventually got traded to Milwaukee today for 5 second-round draft picks. Got to remember, Jay Crowder hasn't even played basketball this year, but it looks like he is now. Looks like he's going to actually play for the Bucks because, let's remember real quick about Jay Crowder. He went to Marquette, okay? Marquette is in Milwaukee. The Bucks are in Milwaukee.
Right.
It's a good fit. He knows the city, knows stadium. A lot of people. The Bucks are contenders. He's going to play. He's not going to sit out anymore. He's going to get involved and get in the swing, and he's going to try to help them win a championship. Okay? So, we got that. Now back to the Nets. When they traded Kyrie, Kevin Durant's like, man, I'm not going to win anything here, especially with this bum Ben Simmons. Think about this. They had Harden, Durant, and Kyrie. They were supposed to win at least one. They didn't win nothing. They didn't even get out of the Eastern Conference Finals. Granted, due to injury, the year that they took the Bucks to 7, they would have won that had Harden been at 100% health and Kyrie didn't miss 4 games of the series, okay? They would have won. They were one shoe size away from making the finals because Kevin Durant wears size 19 shoes but only has size 18 feet. And he stepped over that three-point line just by the smallest margin. Thus, instead of winning the game 7 by 1, it went to overtime, and then he had no energy left, and the Bucks won, and that's that. And the rest is history. So they didn't win any ships. Now, as we talked about Tuesday, Kyrie Irving got shipped somewhere he didn't want to go. Okay? He didn't want to go to Dallas. He wanted to go to L.A., right? That didn't happen. Okay? But that might actually work out for Kyrie because the Mavericks know he might be a rental, but then they're going to clear a whole bunch of cap. But it gives the Mavericks somebody to pair Luka Doncic with. Now, as for the Kevin Durant trade, Phoenix is trying to go on one last run here before Chris Paul ages out, right?
And you could tell.
So you got Aiden and you got Chris Paul and you got Durant and the rest of it. Plus, they have a brand new, young, dynamic owner trying to make a splash. While the Nets are in a total rebuild now, trying to recoup all the picks, from Harden and Kyrie and the Durant. Now between the Harden trade and the Durant and all, they got 6-7 first rounders. So they're in a recoup mode, and they're going to try to rebuild, right? So they're going to rebuild and see where it goes. Like I said, the Bucks,
and also Russell,
they're trying to make a title run with the Jay Crowder trade. 5 second-round picks. I didn't even know they even had 5, but there was a third team involved to swing that. So I'm sure a couple of those picks aren't all the Milwaukee's, but still 5 seconds. So the Nets have a lot of ammunition. They don't have Oklahoma City and Utah ammunition, okay? Because Russell Westbrook got traded to the Jazz, okay? And the Jazz got the Lakers 2027 first-round pick, and they gave up Mike Conley to the Timberwolves, and the Lakers got three players, probably D'Angelo Russell and Jared Vanderbilt probably being the two biggest players in terms of the Lakers. You know, they're trying to do something. Now, the real question, you know, those were, I would say, were the major trades. Maybe Toronto getting Jake Portal from the Spurs for a first rounder, you know, to beef up their interior, you know. But there were some non-trades that did not happen today. Okay? I thought Anunoby, OG Anunoby from the Raptors was surely going to get dealt today. Right? And I thought probably like to a Western Conference team that was going to have to deal with Kevin Durant possibly, because he's kind of a good defensive matchup, you know, and has a little bit of game. But that didn't happen. You know, the rest of these trades were kind of, you know, low-level kind of trades. The one trade I do want to touch on, because, you know, a little bit of a local bias, is the Pistons getting James Wiseman today. They traded Sadiq Bey and Kevin Knox to do that, but 5 second-round picks went to Golden State in the process. Now, I don't know how it was spread out between the Pistons and the Hawks and giving the Warriors 5 second-round picks. Okay? But they got 5 second-round picks. But what this deal does is James Wiseman was just never a good fit for that Warriors system, right? So, you know, Kevin Knox kind of fits that Warriors system more in being a wiry kind of, you know, four for their system, you know, where James Wiseman being that big, bulky kind of a center, he doesn't fit that. But what it does do, it gives Detroit another very young player, okay, who's also going to be a free agent in 2 seasons, I believe, right? So, and you know what? I think a change of scenery is going to fit him very well because a different system that's going to be more tailored to his game. So you got Jalen Duran and James Wiseman, who also both went to Memphis, right? And then you have Isaiah Stewart. So you have a good amount of quality bigs now, right? Plus you got Marvin Bagley and Nerlens Noel. Okay? So you got a ton of young bigs. Well, I wouldn't say Nerlens Noel is young, but you got 4 quality bigs with some talent. And then you got Nerlens Noel, right? So my thinking is you got these bigs. You're going to probably trade a couple of them and package them in some kind of deal this summer. Because the Pistons said that this summer they're going to be buyers, allegedly. And you got Bohan, you got Bogdanovich, you know, sitting there. Then you got Cade and you got Jalen, you know, and then you got Ivy. So you got Ivy, you got Cunningham, you got Bogdanovich, you got all these bigs. But you kind of need like a 3 or a 4, like a Jeremy Grant kind of guy, you know, who could play some defense and score. Because Bogdanovich, while he's 33, he's not really a guy who's going to give you a lot of defense. He's going to give you hustle and offense, and he can shoot the 3 ball, but he's a defensive liability. So I expect them to make some kind of trade or something, right? Like a sign and trade. Marvin Bagley's going to make like $12 million bucks.
We have okay.
So I think, you know, just to sum this up here, Shawn, I think it was a good trade. And I think this summer the Pistons are going to finally, you know, do something and stop being in the willows. You know, they're going to probably have a top 5 pick, you know, in this draft. Hopefully the Frenchman. If not, hopefully Scotty Henderson, and then they can do what they need to do from there. But I think this is the off season where Troy Weaver and crew are going to finally say, okay, enough of the youth. We're going to bring some veterans in, and, you know, we got Cade and Jalen, and do what we got to do and let Jalen Duran develop and see what Wiseman has. You can have something. And they got a lot of tradable bigs, you know. And the Isaiah Livers thing isn't working out. You know, they really don't have a true 3. They really need that. So I think some of those bigs could be involved in some kind of trade to improve the small forward position, because that it's really needed. With Wiseman and Bagley and Duran, you in Stewart, you got the 4 and the 5 covered. But the Pistons need a 3. They need a good backup 2. And they need a capable backup point guard. So they're like 3 pieces away maybe from being a playoff team.
Right. Because they've been in the playoffs since 2019, and this is probably like one of the best NBA free agencies in a while.
Exactly. And they're going to have a ton of salary cap. I mean, a ton. So they're going to end up getting somebody. So they got all this salary cap.
Because I could say like this, I don't remember, and if you notice, the free agency, the trade deadline is before the NBA All-Star. For those of you who haven't,
it used to be after, Sean, but now now they want to give teams
better.
It's better for the teams that want to trade and get rid of players. Because, you know, 2 weeks later after the All-Star break, it kind of lessens the market, I think, a little bit. You know.
Right.
And then, so I think it's kind of good. I think it's good. And I think the Pistons are in prime position between the draft pick and everything else. You know, if they somehow win the draft lottery and then they got $60 million and they get the Frenchman, well, for sure, so, you know, a big or 2 is going to get traded, maybe even 3 of them. The Pistons, man, they somehow win the draft lottery, okay? They're going to be in major league business, okay? They're going to have so much talent on the front lines, and they got Cade. Man, if you can get the 3 spot figured out, I mean, you could be in. The small forward is just really lacking, and I think it's going to be really addressed in the offseason for the Pistons. Sean, you there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. I just think that the small forward it has to be addressed this offseason. If the Pistons want to do anything, it has to be addressed. The small forward, backup point guard, you need somebody capable. And we're going to see once and for all if Jaden Ivey is going to be able to develop into something or not. I mean, we'll see next season. You know, it's like Sadiq Bey. We thought he was going to be something, and, well, he hasn't. Maybe a change of scenery will be good for him also, along with James Wiseman.
Right.
But, but we'll tell. As for Kevin Knox, yeah, been there, done that. See ya. You know,
now the big question will be like, who will be like the big favorites
in the NBA right now for the finals? After all these trades and the deadline. Well, I'm going to say this, okay? In the East, after today, right now, I would say the Bucks got to be.
I think we kind of lost them. Because I heard he said Milwaukee.
Have established themselves as contenders. Okay, the Grizzlies, I think they're more regular season contenders, and they don't have that playoff experience yet. I don't think they're ready. But they're regular season killers, and they need to make the leap. Okay? So what does that leave you? Phoenix?
Especially Denver.
Dallas? Man, we'll see.
No.
I don't know if they've got the front line. Okay? They've got the guards. I don't know if they've got the front line. Okay, but they definitely have the guards. I mean, they got probably some of the most talented guard combo in the league, and off the bench. I mean, they scored. Just they don't got the bangers. Golden State, Phoenix.
Denver,
no, I don't think so. Talented, but not enough.
Don't choke.
I think Phoenix and Golden State out west got to be the big two right now. And in the East, the Bucks, Boston.
And
I can't say Miami because for some reason the Bucks seem to own Miami. For some reason, the Bucks seem to own Miami, and I'm sorry, but the Sixers just won't get it done. It's just not going to happen in Philly, you know.
Especially
I'm sorry, but I'm not a Joel Embiid guy, okay? Dude, you're a 7'2", 7'3" physical specimen. Stronger than heck. You can move like a gazelle, and you act like a sissy in the post, shooting jump shots and threes all damn day. And, you know, you got no back move post game. You know, you can face up, but when your back is to the back, you just ain't there, bro. I'm sorry.
Don't forget about Doc Rivers.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing, you know. He's like our Jeff Fisher, you know. It's just he got lucky one year.
Yeah.
I won't say lucky because that Celtics team was stacked, right? I mean, I could have coached the Celtics to a championship that year. Man, that 08 team, I could have coached them. Seriously. I could have coached them to the ship. You could have coached them to the ship. The Jamestown Jackals head coach could have coached them to the championship. Okay? Long live the Jackals. Right? Long live the Jackals.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of like I almost want to say that the Lakers bubble championship is like a give me to the Doc Rivers championship. I'm not saying that championship was a bubble title for Boston. I'm saying it was a bubble title for Doc Rivers because he was given the keys to a Lamborghini and no idiot could have messed it up. Okay? That's the point I'm making. Okay? Seriously. Okay, my son could have coached that team to a championship, and he's 11, and he wasn't even on this planet in 2008. That's my point. Okay, so you know, it is what it is. Real quick before we get into Super Bowl talk, I want to talk about the scoring record that was broken this week. Congratulations, LeBron. You did it. You broke the all-time scoring record. You know, you trying to come out and say you're the greatest of all time. Oh, I did it in 150 games less than Kareem. Oh, I did it on an average faster than Jordan. Well, you did. But here's the problem. First off, the Jordan era was tougher. Okay, much tougher, and the competition was better in the Jordan era. Second off, in Kareem's era, there was no three-point shot. Okay, Kareem only made one three-pointer out of 18 attempts in his career. Okay? Also, Kareem didn't choke in the finals like you did. Okay? So let me just go ahead and say that off the bat. Now, Kareem had talent around him. That much I'll give you. And Jordan had Pippen and usually a third castmate. But LeBron, you're not Wilt Chamberlain. Okay? Wilt Chamberlain only played 14 seasons and put up 31,419 points. He could have easily played another 10 years and been super dominant. In his last 2 seasons, he was asked to purposely tone down his offense, which he did. He didn't have to, but he did, and the Lakers won a championship. Yes, he only won 2 titles. But you got to remember, over half of Wilt Chamberlain's career, there was only 9 teams in the NBA each season.
Okay.
9 teams. There's 30 teams today in the league. Today's league is so watered down, it's not even funny compared to Chamberlain's era. So basically, if you eliminated 21 teams and you had 9 teams in today's NBA, like Wilt Chamberlain, 252 guys would be going to the G League.
Right, easily.
The league is just so watered down today, it's not even funny. The talent and dude, you would take literally 2 starting 5, combine them in one, and then take the 6th man from each team, and that would combine to form one team, and you tell the other 12 guys to go work at McDonald's. That's what it was. 9 teams. 70% of today's players wouldn't even be in the league in Wilt's era because there was only 9 teams. So, dude, benches 1 to 12 were stacked. It's not, dude, the 8th man today on a team is probably wouldn't even make the NBA in Wilt Chamberlain's day because there wasn't enough bench room because there was only 9 teams.
Right.
Plus, back in Wilt's day, the game was way more physical. There was hand checking, and the league tried to make rules to prevent Chamberlain's dominance, not extenuate it and make the league super offensive to promote offense and to help make superstars in Jordan and in LeBron James. The offensive rules, the ticky-tack fouls, no hand checking, the softness and divas of today's game. The watered-down, tailored league.
That's a great way to say that.
You know, people can say, whoa, Bill Russell won 11 titles and he locked down Wilt. Well, real quick, Chamberlain only won 2 titles. And yes, Bill Russell won 11 rings, okay? He also had 7 Hall of Famers on his team at the same time. All 5 starters and 2 bench guys during that run. 7. Red Auerbach was just a genius. It was a little different back then, okay? A little bit different. Chamberlain was doing it by himself. He had to put the whole team on his back. Bill Russell didn't have to worry about carrying the monster offensive load. All he had to do was worry about playing defense. That's why he only averaged like 18 to 20 points a game because he didn't have to be that offensive juggernaut.
Right.
That Chamberlain did to carry those Philadelphia teams, those first 5 or 6 seasons in the league. Okay? Chamberlain didn't really have a supporting cast till 66. And then 66, 67, they finally got over the hump. Okay? But that team went 68 and 13. But, you know, let's be real here. Chamberlain didn't have much the first half of his career in terms of a supporting cast. Not the way Bill Russell did. Okay? And people say, but he's got the rings. He owned Wilt. If you consider owning Wilt giving up 28 points a game and 28.7 rebounds a game. Yes, I said per game.
Right.
28 and 28 owning. Okay, then you got another thing coming. That's not owning. Bill Russell should be thankful that he was on the Celtics and had 6 other Hall of Famers on his team at the same damn time. Imagine if Will Chamberlain ended up on the Celtics with, my goodness, they might have won 20 straight championships. That's all I got to say on that. Chamberlain's the GOAT, the great. He's also was a physical specimen, stronger than Shaquille O'Neal, faster than Olajuwon. Blocks weren't even an NBA statistics until the season after he retired. Had they been a statistic, Will Chamberlain would easily own the record for most career blocks per season in a game and all time, along with being the only player in league history to lead the league in scoring, rebounding, and assists all in the same season. Not to mention his crazy scoring accolades and rebounding achievements, scoring 100 in a game and some crazy amount of NBA records that will never, ever, ever be broken, especially in this soft diva era of the NBA today. Load management in case.
And no defense at all. Just shoot the 3-pointer.
That also.
Yeah, that 100 points will never be broken, ever. I don't see that in my lifetime, or nobody.
Chamberlain in one season averaged 48.5 minutes a game. That's never going to be broken. He never fouled out of a game. I don't know if you know that. He never fouled out of an NBA game.
That's terrific. That's an interesting stat. I gotta watch some YouTube.
He also holds the league record for highest career field goal percentage in a season at 72.9%. And he did that in his second to last season in the league. He also had, besides owning Chamberlain the way he did offensively, he also has a career-winning mark against Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in head-to-head bad matchups and better statistics against Kareem when Kareem was younger and more in his prime.
That's a very challenging stat right
and
there.
Chamberlain could have easily played in the league another 10 years. He just chose to go to other endeavors. He's also in the Volleyball Hall of Fame.
I did not know that.
Yep, and you should watch the videos about him and about his crazy superhuman strength, especially videos of Arnold Schwarzenegger talking about his strength during the filming of Conan the Barbarian. I mean, at age 50, Will Chamberlain's doing 500-pound bench presses.
Ouch. That's impressive.
I'm sorry, Shaq couldn't even do that in his 20s, okay? Chamberlain was a physical specimen, like.
I'm still here. That's some very interesting stat right there. Because I remember Will Chamberlain was in that movie Conan with Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was the same year with the Terminator. And by the way, if you do have any questions, feel free to comment. As you can see, if it's like the NBA trade deadline, Super Bowl, whatever. It appears like we have some technical difficulties. So, unbelievable. Huh. All right, unbelievable. Looks like he is disconnected. So, as a matter of fact, we'll play one of our brands. It's called Nerd Focus Energy Drink. As a matter of fact, you can go on our website at sportsforamerica.com to purchase one. And here it is. And that is it. That is Nerd Focus. There's Nerd in us. Huh, I love that commercial. So I Shawn Stewart. Let's see. Somebody sent me a comment. And let me see. We will talk about that. Let me see if I can. Let's see. All right, let's see. It should go through. Okay. All right, there we go. That's really weird. Let me see. I think we have some issues. Let me see if I can send an invite.